I have coined the term Altruessor. Of course, you can Google that and find a lot of references to how I use this word Altruessor as a new word, as a paradigm shift in the way uh, this role is used. So, in a very simple sense, it is two words combined, which is altruism, altruistic, and a professor. So, that's what an altruessor is. Why do we need another word? Uh, Typically, most words used in this space, if you take, for example, within the performance appraisal system of any company, they use the word mentor, and anyone who is being mentored is a protege. And we've looked at the words guru and sishya. There are different kinds in Sanskrit. There are different ways of describing who a teacher is. One who's imparting knowledge, one who's sharing and learning, um, others who are passing on insights. So there are different levels, but broadly we have this uh, that someone is looking out for you. And but this is a problem in a company. When you're within the enterprise, then it is limited to only as long as you're within the company. Once you leave the company, that mentor is no longer yours. So it's a double-edged sword. So it's good for the organization, good for you only as long as you're within the organization. So that's why we need a new word, because altruism goes into a whole lifespan, which we have had in the past. The Greek, Aristotle, um, we have had the uh, various teachers, mycelium, lyceum, schools, Plato. So the old Greeks had that. The Gurukul system in India originally had this. The Chinese education methods. Um, the father teaching the son the vocational skills of a butler, butcher, candlestick maker. Everything is really all about this. Your whole career skills are passed on to the youngster, and life moves on one cycle to the next with that set of vocational skills. So within a performance appraisal of a company, you can see what is required. There's a required performance level, there's an achieved performance level, the gap has to be closed. Uh, the HR department, training department provides the assessment, evaluation, and feedback. There are line functions and staff functions. So an individual moves from a stated and accepted need to what the goal needs to be attained. And this, when you look at the external world, is based on what industry or markets you're in, the demand and supply situation for that particular skill sets, jobs and tasks, role descriptions that is assigned to you, then the actual theory and practice of helping you. Theory without practice is sterile, and practice without theory is blind. So this, for us, for me, is in within the enterprise what an altruism is supposed to do. So I don't want to use the word mentor. I think mentor is overused in a corporate situation. Now, if you look at what is the purpose of an altruism is to learn, to help the protege learn. In fact, most teachers would be the first to accept that they're learning all the time. And when you're dealing with people who are as skilled, you prepare for your class, you learn yourself before you really come in and help anyone else. And I would even go to the extent that in altruism, which I have done many times, you can have a class of people who are in fact better than you, so they know more than you. So in which case, what do? You're a facilitator, you're a manager of that learning, sharing. So you're allowing the collaboration to take place and ideas to be shared, collate the share. So an altruistic can know less than the group, but the end goals which are need to be attained, and the stated and accepted need where they are currently in is has to be there for a goal. So there has to be, so the whole learning for me as an altruist becomes almost like a sphere. Within the sphere, you're moving up or down, back or forth, front, back. So you're moving in all three directions at all times, but you're always looking at how do I get to the surface of the sphere. You're in the middle of the sphere as a point of no knowledge or zero knowledge, and you're moving outward to the extent that you want to, the surface of the sphere, and that's the learning during that period. So that's how a 1 year course, a 1 semester course, or a 4 year course has to be, uh, training has to be done. Or it could be just to get a task done, just enough, deviate from the normal to acquire the learning curve, the learning skills, and you're back at, and you're moved from the center of the circle to the surface of the circle. So the altruism in life statistics, in life areas like statistics or business ethics, vision mission, so these are different things that uh, any altruism would help you with decision making. It said that for CEOs it's lonely at the top because you don't have a reference or a benchmark. You are uh, on your own, and that's when even there an altruist can play a role, that you can have a number of CEOs who exchange ideas, you peg your value systems. uh, of course the benchmarks you set are against others, whereas the value systems are much more from within your character and personality. So so these are the different ways that an altruist can help. You can apply this to many situations, and I have mentored, and a lot of people have moved through their lives and careers with and through me. And I'd be happy to work with anyone, those who feel that there is a need, that they feel that they can benefit from such an association at whatever level in their lives or careers. It's not really counseling, though it has an element of that when you're looking at support using clinical tools inside, if you have a clinical issue, or using behavioral sciences if you're in psychology, or if you're a technical person to be mentored as a tech mentor. So there's a very vast, wide variety of needs. But typically, it would be a one person, one altruist for a person. Of course, you can have multiple people who uh, you could gain from. We gain from everybody. We learn from a child. We learn from everyone else. So my point about an altruist is you can be the altruist to a set of people. It's finite in the sense you may be for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 people. Someone might come to you once a year. It's like a master class in music, for example, that I may conduct for someone. Or it could be just a shoulder to cry on when you have a problem. But and the altruists themselves will need their own altruist. So this is the word altruism as I see it.